So picture this. You've got 30 minutes left to get to school, but wait, your brain goes, hold up, I've still got 25 minutes. So you close your eyes again, just 5 more minutes, and then 5 turns into 10, 10 turns into 15, and boom, you're 40 minutes late. Sound familiar? Yeah, thought so. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your friend. But here's the kicker. No matter how many times it happens, you don't really learn from it. You just keep doing it again and again. Well, here's the truth. This isn't just about being lazy or bad at time management. What you're seeing here is actually one of the 4 most common time types that shape the way people live their lives. And at the end of this video, I'm going to break down each of those 4 types, what makes them tick, what personality traits they reveal, and the simplest way to escape the trap. Spoiler, sometimes it's not about trying harder. It's about flipping your mindset. Just like we all have different personality types, like introverts and extroverts, we also each have a relationship with time. Some of us are obsessed with being early. Some of us run on a chill lifestyle. And some of us don't even know what happened to time at all. It's actually about how your brain perceives time, your unique time personality, and how that shapes the way you plan, move, and even stress throughout your day. Now let's meet the big 4, the 4 most common time personalities. The time optimist. I've got plenty of time. Famous last words. Time optimists are the people who always believe things will take less time than they actually do. They're the ones who think they can take a shower, walk the dog, answer 2 emails, and get to the airport in 15 minutes, with no traffic, during rush hour. It's like you have a meeting at 7, you leave your house at 6:55, and believe that you will be in there at really 7. You think that as long as you leave the house before the appointment time, it means you are on time. This is a real story, and I believe that some of us here were in this. Time optimists don't usually feel stress under time pressure. That's why they tend to underestimate how long things really take. It's not laziness. It's just brain math gone wrong. Number 2, the time anxious. What if I'm late? What if there's traffic? What if I spontaneously combust on the way? These folks live in a constant state of time tension. They show up 15 minutes early, not because they want to impress anyone, but because they're imagining every single thing that could go wrong. Has anyone here ever shown up so early to an appointment that even your friend didn't get out of bed yet? Yep, that's time anxiety in action. Time, anxious people assume the worst. Delays, wrong turns, maybe a meteor hitting the freeway. But it's not just about being punctual. It's about easing the worry that something will go wrong if they're even a minute late. Here's a fun way to tell the difference between a time optimist and a time anxious. Imagine this. You get a text that says, "I'll be there in 5 minutes." To a time optimist, that probably means, "I just woke up and even gotten out of bed." While to a time anxious, it means they're already at the door of the meeting place. Number 3, the time bender. Time is a suggestion, not a rule. Time benders are the creative souls who thrive under pressure, or at least think they do. They often lose track of time completely because they're chasing a flow state or bouncing from task to task based on inspiration. It's like you suddenly decided to clean your bed just before 5 minutes, even though you had all yesterday free to do that thing, but you didn't. Why is this crazy thing happening? Because you felt inspired. That's it. So time benders are the people who treat 10 minutes late as basically on time. They're often creative, curious, and super spontaneous. But they're also the ones who will say, "Where did the time go?" at least 3 times a day. Number 4, the time blind. Wait, it's 3 p.m. already? Yeah, if you are this kind of time personality, you might ask this question 1,000 times a day. This one hits different, especially for folks with ADHD or executive function struggles. Time-blind people literally have trouble sensing the passage of time. It's not that they don't care about being late, it's that their brain doesn't send the right reminders internally. Without alarms or visual cues, an hour can vanish like a magic trick. It's like you sit down to write one email. Suddenly it's 2 hours later, your coffee is cold, and you somehow ended up watching dancing videos on TikTok. Classic time blindness. People with this personality often experience issues with working memory and brain timing mechanisms, especially those with ADHD. It's not about being disorganized, it's about your brain struggling to feel time moving. So, From this very moment, do you recognize which one of you are you? The truth is, none of these types is bad. They're just different ways your brain interacts with time. But once you understand your type, you can stop beating yourself up and start finding what actually works for you. So now that we've met the 4 time personalities, let's answer the big question. Why do we even experience time so differently in the first place? Well, the short answer is our brain. Let's break it down. 1. Personality type. Just like being introverted or extroverted, your general personality plays a big role in how you relate to time. People with type A traits, the super organized, checklist-loving folks, tend to lean toward being time anxious. They need control, and unpredictability stresses them out. On the other hand, type B personalities, more relaxed, go-with-the-flow types, are often time benders or time optimists. They're not rushing, they're just vibing. You know how some people set 5 alarms for the morning? A type A person wakes up at the first one. A type B person uses the first 4 as background music. 2. Brain chemistry and neurobiology. Your brain literally processes time differently depending on chemicals like dopamine. High levels of dopamine, often found in creative or high-energy brains, can make time feel faster. That's why time flies when you're doing something exciting. Anxiety, on the other hand, puts your brain in high alert, which can actually make time feel slower. Every minute feels like 10 because your brain is scanning for threats like, what if I'm late and my boss hates me forever? People with ADHD or other executive functioning differences often struggle with something called time blindness, where the brain has trouble tracking time internally, no matter how much they want to. 3. Age and life. Experience, believe it or not, your age also affects your time perception. When we're kids, everything is new, and our brains are constantly stimulated, so time feels slower. Remember how long summers used to feel? Now as adults, days blur together, weeks fly by. Why? Because our brains process fewer new experiences, and our dopamine levels are lower, so time feels like it's speeding up. Ever said, wait, wasn't it just Sunday? On a Thursday afternoon? That's your adult brain doing its thing. So, if you've ever felt frustrated with yourself for always being late, if you've tried every planner, every productivity app, every morning routine of successful people video, and still couldn't get it together, you're not broken. Your brain just tells time differently. Your time personality isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a part of how you experience the world. And the key isn't to force yourself to become someone you're not. It's to understand how your brain works and build habits, tools, and rhythms that work with it. Maybe that means setting 2 alarms instead of 1, or using an app to keep you on track. Or maybe it's just giving yourself 15-minute buffers between tasks so you're not racing against the clock. Whatever it looks like, just know you don't have to keep running late to your own life. And from here, we keep growing together. If this video made you feel seen, or if you're suddenly realizing, wait, that's me, drop a comment and tell me, which time personality do you think you are?